Hi everyone, this is Julianne Victoria of Through the Peacock's Eyes. It is New Year's Eve, so December 31st, 2020, and I had this idea to do this special reading for each of the zodiac signs for the year of 2021. But it's not just a tarot reading. Last year I did the diving into 2020, and I realized in retrospect that me doing that readings was a sign that 2020 was going to be an unusual year. So hopefully 2021 is better for all of us out there. I have had my Vedic Astrology 2021 horoscope readings for each sign out for a while. If you haven't checked that out and want to take a look at that to see something maybe a little bit more practical every day, check that out. But this reading, and I think I'm going to call them what we need to weave together to create our dreams in 2021. It's going to be titled something like that. I haven't figured it out. And that is because of the two decks I'm going to use. So the first deck, I will pull one card from the Weaver's Oracle. And this is sort of like a deck where we get messages from the ancestors, especially the grandmothers. And what I'm going to do, oh, interesting, I just pulled to the page of Sun. What I'm going to do, so there's two pages for each of the cards. What I'm going to do for this reading is to read her yarn, because these readings are of what yarns do we need to gather up to weave together our dreams for 2021. Sort of like dream weaving, not the dream time dream weaving, but the dream weaving meaning what do we want to create and how are we going to create what we want? Okay. Now, what I'm thinking I will do mid-year in 2021, I haven't decided. We'll see how the year goes. The first half of the year goes, is that in the second half, I will read from the same card for each sign, the braid and the cloth sections. But for this, I'm just going to read the yarn. So one card from the Weaver's Oracle, and then from the Yarn of Mama Shamana deck, which I used last year for the 2020, diving into 2020 readings. I'm going to pull, it's a two-part deck, as you can see, it comes in two parts. These are the backs. There are picture cards, and they're called metaphor cards. And then there are saying cards. I'll just show the back. It's just plain white for that. So it's basically three cards for each sign. And what yarn? It's not going to give you something specific, like you need a new car and you need a new resume or something. You're going to have to take from it what resonates with you. And that's going to give you an important piece for inner work, possibly shadow work, for self-healing, inner healing, for motivation, for inspiration for the year of 2020, so that you can take these yarns that come up for you and weave them into the different aspects of your life to create what you want. So that's my goal with this. We'll see how it turns out. Let me know in the comments how these resonate with you, because this is sort of an experimental reading as well. And people always ask, you can listen to this based on your Western astrology sun sign. You can also listen to your ascendant and moon to get more pieces of yarn, more different colors of yarn, size of yarn to weave together for the year ahead. So this will be fun. This will be interesting. Let me know how it goes. Thank you for being here, and on to the individual readings. Hi Virgo, welcome to your dream weaving reading for 2021. We're starting here with the Weaver's Oracle. Let me do a deep shuffle for you. All right, Virgo. You get number 48, Shard, Shaman Weaver of Tundra. So let me look up her yarn for you, and I will put her picture on screen while I read. Okay, here we go. Shard, Shaman Weaver of Tundra. She weaves 1,000 reindeer skulls, her yarn. Varga's clan was traveling hard towards the distant north and suffering many difficulties along their trail. But they were driven forward by a pressing urgency, as if something extraordinary was waiting for them in the north. And on the way, their imagination started to awaken to the spirits of the landscape through which they moved. They traveled. The woman made songs that captured the sounds of wind and ice and snow, as well as their own weariness and hunger and resolve. At last, Varga's clan came to the great glacial wall. There was no more land on which to walk, for they had reached the farthest edges of the world. They made a small fire, then all through the night they sang their hearts out into the snow. In the grainy dusk of day, they were still singing. They wanted their songs to reach the glacier, to let the edge of the world know that they were there. But their songs were too small for the vast landscape and fluttered down onto the snow like broken birds. Varga sat beneath the moon. She filled her water bag with snow and placed it by the fire to melt. She thought about the belly of the moon and the belly of the bag, and knew what they must do to send their songs out beyond the edge. So Varga's clan went hunting. They chased and caught a winter creature, then set its soul to run towards the sun. They stripped and scraped the hide, tied it to a birchwood frame, and stretched the skin until it formed a flat, tight belly. The first drum. When the drum was dry, Varga picked up a bone and raised her arm. The bone crashed on the drum. The noise filled up the land and the vibration circled out towards the glacial edge. Varga's clan began to sing. The rhythm of the drum lifted their songs on wings of sound out to the ice mountain. They sang through 9 days and 9 nights before one of Varga's clans shouted in alarm. Everyone stopped singing as they peered across the edge of the world. In the distance, dark shapes were approaching, pulsing in the swirling snow, blurred patches of movement on the ice. The shapes settled into walking forms, and still the drum was sounding as the ancient ice mothers reached them, and that moment was both terrible and great. Varga's clan felt the ice mothers pressing all around them, slipping like smooth icicles into their heads, freezing their hearts. Varga kept on drumming, though her hands were clawed with cold. Now the ice mothers were melting through their bodies, and the hearts of Varga's clan were beating once again. They were all changed and changing. The ice mothers were in them, now part of their own story, which would travel from the edges of the world back to the hearth. Varga lowered her arm, and the first drum was silent. That silence filled with songs, waiting to be sung. Wow, that's powerful, Virgo. Okay, so now let's pull your 2 cards from the Yarn of Mama Shamana deck. Start with the picture card. And these are metaphor cards. So take from the image whatever it means for you. And she's weaving. She's knitting socks. Interesting. I'll hold it here so you can see all of it. And you can pause and take a screenshot so you can keep the picture. And let's see what your phrase is, your 3rd piece of yarn for 2021 Virgo. The seasons merry-go-round, running behind, arriving ahead. And I'll hold these up together if you want to take a picture of them together to journal on, meditate on, pull your own cards on. Okay, Virgo, that is your yarn for weaving your dreams in 2021. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful start to the new year.